I've had this idea. What would it look like if we trained for photography like pro athletes? Because when you think about it, elite sports teams spend millions of pounds trying to optimize their teams so that they can perform at the highest level that they can. And we can steal those ideas. And I've found that when applying that to my photography, both from a creative and also business standpoint, it has transformed my path as a creative, and I'm very grateful for it. And I want to share that idea with you. And if you don't know who I am JP. I'm a full-time professional photographer shooting for some of the biggest brands all over the world. And my goal is to be the best photographer that I can be. And so quickly, we've got things like deliberate practice, we've got game tapes, we've got coaching, and then we've also got game day equivalents that we can discuss later in this video. And I always find it really funny that we hear about these like high-level rappers, singers, songwriters who lock themselves away for months on end, and then they come out and produce these hardcore, just great pieces of work, right? But I don't hear anyone talking about that from a photography perspective. And I think that we can benefit from discussing what it takes to be elite and to achieve more with our creativity. And so if you, like me, our goal is to be the best photographers we can be, then I'm sure this video will be prime for you. And if you want to learn more, then sign up to my newsletter down below. Cool, so now let's get into it. And I want you to think, you watching this, to think about how this applies to your specific goals as a photographer. Because we're all slightly different, right? To kick things off, the first thing that I want to discuss is practice. How much deliberate practice are me and you applying to photography that with the sole intention of making us a better photographer? Not necessarily to take the best photos, but to practice, to learn, to develop this skill and this craft. Do you think that you're honestly putting in enough to match the goals that you're trying to achieve? I'll be honest. I've realized recently that I'm not spending enough time with camera in hand. And so just like anyone else, we need to be out here training. And depending on who you are and what your goals are, this could be compositional stuff. This could be storytelling. This could be defining your own style. And depending on what you need in order to achieve your goals, we need to be spending more time practicing these things. And so for me, I feel like I'm quite strong compositionally, but I need to work on the storytelling stuff. I need to be seeing things that are interesting. I need my mind to be quicker. And the best way for me to be doing that is to be shooting street photography, where it is very much about story. But as well as that, it's also roasting my work. I think that this is something that is so underrated and more people need to do. Roast your work with such a critical eye, because the more we can do that, the more we're going to see the gaps in our work and be able to fill them to help us elevate as creatives. And this links into the second point of coaching. How do you get a coach? Coaches are people who have just thought about your problems and your sport, your creativity, discipline, said that in a weird way. They've thought about that more than you. And they perhaps have experience in where you want to go. And that, I think, is so important, to find someone who's able to critique your work in a friendly but also honest way. Because your family, they are going to love what you do. They love you for who you are. But then you've also got your friends. They don't know enough about photography to the level that you want to achieve. So how do you get feedback? And I'm very lucky that by posting on YouTube and Instagram, I've been able to make some friends who are very good at what they do and who can be nice and brutal when they need to be. But I've also paid for coaching. And this has really helped me, especially in the commercial world, see what I need to do to be able to get to where I want to go. One of the things I've been working on this year is trying to build a portfolio that is commercially valuable. And if you like the way that I think about photography and want to have me roast your work, I will do it in the most honest, friendly way that I possibly can in the portfolio review linked down below. And it is the service that I've been paying other photographers that I look up to. And I want to offer it to you guys to help people go from 0 to 1 to get to roughly where I'm going. And then as I'm learning and getting further down the line, I'm passing that information down to you guys. So if that's something that you're interested in, link down below. So after coaching, we have then got game tape and game theory. And to me, This is really learning the fundamentals from the greats. And so over here, let me go get some. I've got stacks and stacks. Give me focus. Come on. I have got stacks and stacks of books from people that I really look up to, who I think are the greats. And so where I'm going with this is within old books. These are ideas and foundations and fundamentals that have stood the test of time. These books have been regarded as being great for a long period of time. They've stuck around because they are good. And so that means that they are generally fundamentally strong. They're not based on trends, they're not based on things that are like topically relevant right now. And that, I think, allows us to really try to understand why these are good, why these are respected. And this is going to give us the fundamental knowledge to then apply that to our photography. Because Instagram is filled with amazing trends, amazing new work. But if that's what you're basing your learning on, I feel like you're going to miss some of the fundamentals. Cool. And so now we are on to the game days. So this is where it's like the opportunities to go out and shoot. Athletes need to get to the highest level in order to be able to perform in the way that they want to, surrounded by the right people. And so how are we going to get the opportunities that we think our photography deserves? Does that make sense? So if you want to take great street photographs, how are you getting the opportunities to go and shoot street as much as possible in the coolest cities, in the places where you think there are the best stories to tell? On the flip side, commercially, how are you getting in front of the agencies, the brands, the people that are going to book you for the cool jobs that you think you've got the skill set for, and so you can create the work that you think you deserve? And so for me, I'm focusing on both of these, right? I'm not trying to get any wedding clients. I'm not trying to make connections with dream wedding destinations or whatever. I'm going commercial. That's where I love thinking about business. I like thinking about these, how to position things and all of this like fun stuff in my eyes. And so I'm trying to connect with brands. I'm trying to connect with agencies. I'm trying to get in front of the people that are going to give me these incredible opportunities that I really want. The next section is about injury prevention and capacity. It's going to sound a little bro, right? But I want my body to not limit me in any way. I want to be able to perform at the level. Is the audio working? The audio is working. Okay, cool. I want my body to facilitate me as much as possible. I do not want there to be a single moment where I am thinking about my body when I should be thinking about the photos. So let's say climbing up a mountain. I don't want to have to get to the top and go, honestly, like, I know the sunrise is great, but I'm blowing. I don't want that. I want to be able to get up there, take a photo. That's an extreme example. But I think that there's so many different ways in which I want to be flexible. I want to be able to move in whatever way possible, whenever I want. And that is going to allow me to get the exact photo that I want in that moment. And I don't want to ever feel tired. And so for me, training is a non-negotiable. I need to be as fit and as flexible as I can so I have the capacity to never interrupt the flow of my brain, the flow of my mind that is going to allow me to take the photos that I want. And then finally, a super quick one is about recovery and supplementation. I think that we need to be sleeping way more because we need our minds to be as sharp as humanly possible in order to allow us to think quickly on the spot when under pressure. And that, I think, is so underrated. So get yourself a sleep mask, get yourself some nice bed sheets, get yourself some blackout curtains. Try sleep for as long as you can. Do you want to meet my cat? There you go. Say hello to Monty. Meow. You focus? Meow. He does not like being picked up. And then supplements. I'm sure you, like me, love taking caffeine. loves caffeine. I also take lion's mane, which is a little supplement that helps to improve your verbal recall. And whilst that's not directly linked to creativity, shows that it's improving your mind's capacity to think, to bring back ideas, and that I think is a great supplement to fuel your creativity. And so on that note, I need to let this boy out, maybe give him some food. And until next time, see you in the street.